One.
It's over. All right. All right.
What's going on, my people? What's going on, my people? This your guy Ray coming to you live all the way from here. Where's here? Right here. Well, what's going on? Listen. I am excited tonight. Let me make sure I got everything up and running over here. I'm just doing what I do. I listen. You gonna like who I have on tonight. It's gonna be powerful. It's a young lady that listen, I don't know what I would do without her. I'm just saying. Look, let's get the housekeeping out the way. This guy Ray coming to you live all the way from here. We're here right here. And guess what? Look. I'm running this HBO special. I listen, my HBO special. Help a brother out. I'm trying to get 1,000 viewers by December, by Christmas, by January. Help our brother out. Listen, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that notification button, hit that subscribe button. Hey, you Facebook people, you know what time it is. You know what to do. My Tiki Takis, if you ain't been following me, follow me now. Listen, I'm excited. We're gonna go a little left tonight. We got one of my good buddies. We got a powerful. Listen, all you Instagram people, I know y'all know who she is. From the front porch with Colleen. Welcome to Ray's Corner Live. What's going on, Colleen? What? Listen, how are you doing today? Listen, first of all, I am so happy that you have taken time out of your busy schedule to come on Ray's Corner Live with all the Ray's Corner Live people. We are truly honored. Guys, y'all know, I had to bring them on, even though I'd be going to you guys. Listen, y'all know my passion is for homeless. Why? Because I was homeless. A lot of y'all are doing homeless stuff. But I want to give it to you from a different perspective, right? But first, I'm gonna let Miss Colleen introduce herself. Tell them a little bit about yourself, all that good stuff, what you've been doing, how you've been doing, where you going, what you're not going, what you're gonna do, and do what you do. Here's Colleen.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you good.
From Colleen on WHIV FM 102.3 Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. I am also the broker owner of More Realty, where we specialize in real estate services and property management. And I am one of Ray's best friends.
Yes. So listen, go ahead, keep going. I want to make because I know it's more to what you just don't leave out everything. I'm gonna give you a couple. You gotta let the people know who you are. If that's enough, I'm going to do something.
Okay.
I'm going to flip the script on all my brothers and let y'all know this young lady here saved my life. I had to house all these people, right? I had to house all these people. I listen, we had 24 people. We was getting ready to close up this shelter. We had to have everybody out by that day. We had 24 people left. This young lady helped me to house between 15 to 20 people in less than 8 hours. Made me look good. And guess what? She ain't asked for a dime. That's what I'm talking about. So look, tonight. So look, tonight's question is this, right? Housing the homeless doesn't work. Now, most of y'all know me, right? And I'll be telling y'all about this old guard, man. They don't know what they doing. It was working. Let me put it like this. The times that they were doing it, that's what it was working for. But now the days of just giving them a key, putting them in the house and all that stuff, I don't want to go too far ahead, but I'm gonna ask you something. Here's my first question I want to ask you. from your experience as a real estate agent working with homeless vouchers, do you feel the current system is truly housing people, or are we mostly placing them in units and hoping for the best, and why?
I think I want to answer any question based upon based upon my personal experience. I I think
Tell the
that
truth. Look. Don't worry about. Don't listen. Don't worry about it. You on Race Corner Live. I got your back. Tell the truth.
that I think that you're just throwing out money, tenant after tenant after tenant, the deposits, the damages. It's not, I can't even say that the landlords are necessarily profiting from it, which it does appear that that would have been the case. But because you have so many damages and expenses, even high utility bills, holes in the walls, cleaning that you have to do because of the drug paraphernalia, it's a lot. So I can say that they're really benefiting how on the outside looking in, you think they would. As well as I think that
Oh, holy. Oh, shoot. What just happened? Oh, I see what happened. You got to come off mute. Come off mute. Okay, let me come off. You got to come off mute. Yeah, you got to come off mute. Say something. Say something. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's see.
can you hear me?
Ah, there you go. We got you now.
Okay.
All right.
All
Start that
right.
over
Okay.
again. Start that over again.
Right. So I think from the outside looking in, most people think that the landlords are the ones that's profiting from this, that they're making a killing, but not necessarily because of the amount of damages, the high utility bills, and the turnover rate. The tenants, I don't feel are profiting from it because even though they may not necessarily be outside anymore, be under the bridge, they're still in a situation in which most times they're still living as if they are under the bridge or outside. So it's they're not getting the support that they need. You can they're still taking all of the things that they were doing outside. And I'm just going to say, like, for instance, they're still using drugs. They're still bringing the same crowd of people that they congregated with under the bridge to the apartments or to the houses, and it's not benefiting anybody. The only thing that happens is you wind up doing an eviction and you're spending more money to do the eviction. Then they go back with the van, pick them up and bring them somewhere else, and we start all over again.
So let me ask you a
You
question.
know that's the way it goes.
How long have you been doing this? Working with the this population and housing them? Because I know in the city that you're in, and if you want to divulge it, you can say that at your own leisure. But I'm not. You are
Okay.
very known to help like multiple organizations. In spite of even that you can see certain things. Let me ask you a question. When a client is trying to secure a housing voucher, what would you be what would you see as their biggest obstacle, or what is the biggest communication problem that they have between you, and I'm going to get to the case managers in a little bit, you and them? What do you see some of the biggest problems? They come, they get your unit. Are they capable of doing the day-to-day necessary stuff that apartment dwellers do normally on a normal basis?
They appear to be capable. I think get some backlash for this, but
Well,
I think one of the biggest things is a lot of them have an entitled attitude.
oh, whoa, 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 wait. What you mean? Wait. What do you mean entitled? Now, listen, you know,
I'll give you an example of something that happened today. So we have someone who stated that, hey, I'm living under an abandoned house, right? So I want to be housed. I want a house. Okay, got you. We go on a tour of available units, right? So we go and see four of them. It's like, oh, well, I really want a double or a single family, a one bedroom single family
wait. So hold on. I'm okay. So you mean this individual is living under a bridge or living in an abandoned building
under a house. He stated
under
he was living under the
under.
house,
Okay, go ahead.
under a house. Okay. So he wanted to specifically be in the uptown area, and um he wanted a single family or nothing larger than a double house.
Oh, he wouldn't move.
Or he just wasn't interested. He was going to go and start looking for some stuff on his own. So of course, as you know, the program only covers so much. So in that, so the fair market rate for 2025 was 1236, including all utilities for a one bedroom. Now 2026 rates that took effect October 1st of 2025. I know that makes sense. But anyway, is 1113, including all utilities. It actually went down. So you have to cover the electricity, water, and if there's gas as well at that price. So this individual wanted, or his expectation was to get a single family house or maybe a double in that price range in the uptown area that covered all his utilities. So I get a lot of that. I understand that there's everybody has certain criteria, but the whole I need central air and heat. I need tile floors. I need laminate floors. I want granite. I've got, all of these things. So I want to be in a gated community. I've gotten them all. I've heard them all. But so I think sometimes we lose focus on what it is that we're really trying to accomplish here. And so are they capable of doing things that maybe a cash pay attendant would? I do think that they're capable, but I think because it's so much, I'm going to say support, but it not support in the right way, but there's so much support in um it supporting bad choices and bad decisions that it continues. It gives them like you make bad decisions and we're going to reward you with this.
So everybody knows my story. 20 years on drugs. I always tell people 3 years homeless, but the 3 years I was talking about was when I was like on the streets and eating out of trash and all that. But I was homeless for almost that whole 20 years because most of the time I didn't have my key or I didn't have my name on the lease. And the three favorite words was, get out. So, so I know for me when coming from Camden, New Jersey, they gave me this voucher for a room. Unfortunately, all the rooms in Camden, rooming houses were crack houses. So I really didn't have a choice. So why do you think? Oh, I got a little too further over. Hold on, got my other camera.
Okay.
Okay. Why do you think now? And I can say this because I have the lived experience. I know for
Okay.
me, like I know we have freedom of choice. They have freedom of choice. But I had a gentleman like for those of you that don't know me, y'all most of y'all know me. I'm a housing navigator, a SME, subject matter expert in housing navigation and housing specialist. Probably the best one in the United States or one of the top five, right?
That's right.
And um I see and I'm in agreement with you. I see and I don't want to say nothing until after you answer this next question. the entitlement, like, where do you think that comes from? Why do they feel they're entitled, or is someone whispering in their ear? Because I know a lot of times there are some certain people when I'm trying to house people, I took a couple of people to a house, right? Now, mind you,
Mhm.
I take them and then they have someone tell, oh, no, go take look at three or four other places, but they wanted the first place. So I always say this in my mind, like that person that said that, you're going home. And
Right,
when you leave that visit, that walkthrough, you're going home, and that person is going right back to wherever they came from when they could, like, at that moment, be housed.
right.
So where do you think this entitlement come from? Because I mean, I was on those streets. I mean, I was in New Jersey, like when November came, it was like I knew once September came, I couldn't get warm again until like April because I would walk out of the building, look left, look right, look in front of me, look behind me. It didn't make a difference. Whichever way I went, I had nowhere to go. So tell me, where you think that entitlement come from?
I think that so I grew up in New Orleans, right?
Mhm.
So I remember as a kid driving down Broad Street or being on Canal Street, right? And every now and then you would see someone that was homeless. And I know for me, the one that stands out in my mind all the time is the guy on Broad and Canal Street. He used to always have like a liquor bottle. So I'm thinking his choice was liquor. So he would sit by the or lay at the bus stop, and you knew he was homeless, right? He was there 24/7, and you knew he was homeless. People would stop by, give him money, offer him food, whatever. But I've never seen a influx of homeless people like I have in the last maybe 3 years, right? That's being housed. And so you asked me a question earlier. I've been in real estate as far as renting property for 24 years now. But I have been and that's like including Section 8 property and things like that. But dealing with the homeless housing vouchers probably strongly for the last maybe 6 years. So um most of the people that I have started seeing are from out of state, and they kind of migrated here. One thing that I have heard quite a few times that kind of made me question it a little bit was, oh, one of my friends got housed, and so they called me and I came down and I got housed.
Ooh.
But right, and then I hear from the caseworkers, oh, well, I'm waiting on their ID. They don't have their Louisiana ID yet. They have an out of state ID. But yet we have somebody else who may have been in living in their car, sleeping in their car, that's been on a housing wait list for over a year, and they're actually from New Orleans or Louisiana, and they haven't been housed. So one of my issues with that is, and I'm probably getting off track, but you're
Oh,
taking
you on
Louisiana,
track. Keep going.
okay,
You
you're
good.
taking New Orleans or Louisiana funds and you're spending it on someone who isn't even a resident, basically. So that's a problem for me because I know good majority of it's my tax dollars, but let us, but but
I
you
pay
know
taxes
you
here and in my home state, so they double me. But anyway, go ahead.
well there you go. So you open out a whole pot. So, but my problem with that is you're why are we not taking care of our own and investing in our own before we start investing in everybody else's, if that makes sense?
So
And
this brings me to my next question. Unless you were then I
no, no,
finish
no,
finish
no,
that
no, go
thought.
ahead. No, 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 no,
Here
no.
goes my next question. how would you describe your working relationship with case managers and social workers? It's a second part to that, but I'm going to do with the first part because I'm just hearing it. I'm just listening to what you're saying, and there seems like there's a disconnect between housing people from your particular city and housing those coming in, and there's somebody responsible for that. But so, how's your relationship with for and explain to the audience uh, what type of relationship you do have with a case manager and why you have that case manager, and what is the purpose of that case manager in reference to that client and to that homeless person. I know that was a lot.
Okay, so I mean, yeah, there was the case managers. I mean, there's so many of them. I don't know where you are gonna start. I'm sure some of them like me. I'm sure some of them don't. Like some of them don't like some of them. I mean, I don't know how to answer that, but some do their job, some don't. Just whatever, like everything else in the world. But the case workers need help. They need support. Um, I don't, I can get frustrated, I can get upset with a caseworker that I feel, oh, they're not doing enough, or they're not doing their job, or they're getting frustrated, or they're not doing what I want them to do. But I do have to understand because I wasn't trained as social work, I was just pushed into this. But um, I do have to understand that what I deal with is not even half of what they deal with. And I probably have
Explain
more.
that. Break that. Expound on that. Tell the people what you mean.
So I deal with the tenants having extra guests. I deal with the animals that they're not supposed to have. I deal with the substance abuse. I deal with the violence. Um, and when I say I deal with it, I'm the one knocking on the door. I'm the one saying, "Oh no, you have to go. You're not on the lease." I'm the one who hears their stories about um their binges, or this person came in and they're using this, they're doing that. I'm the one getting the phone calls on my personal cell phone at 2 o'clock in the morning from the police because one of them have been shot in a courtyard and they need the video footage. I mean, just everything. So I understand what I have to deal with. And then so I can only imagine what the caseworkers are expected to deal with. And I think it can be very overwhelming. And I think some of them will throw up their hands. And I do believe that the majority of them knows that the way that the system is set up right now is not working.
Sound like you a caseworker.
I know I need to check now.
So let me give you my take on this, right? So, and the case managers, they really half of them don't have a clue. I already know that. But it's the old guards, the one that's over top of them, that's living in these old-fashioned ways of how to house the homeless. Putting them in one of the things that I noticed last project I was on, one, they never put in the budget for deposits. Two, they never put in the budget for furniture. And three, they never put in the budget for stipends. There should be a bridge between coming from underneath the bridge unto homelessness. Some cities are actually providing those services now, meaning they're taking them from the streets to shared living, meaning they share rooms with people. They put the services around them. They go and then they move them up to independent living. There's a stair step because the reality is, if I take a person from the bridge to one of your apartments, the only thing changes is the geographical location. So the mindset always stays the same. So the reality, I'm going because I want you to answer this. If you could change two or three things in how the system works, whether at the policy level, agency level, or landlord level, to make sure people are really being housed properly, what changes would you make?
All of them, all of the above, because it has to start at the top, because basically that's where the money comes from. So that's one thing. But you're absolutely, get in somewhere. You're absolutely right about that. You can't you can't pick somebody, and I use this example, you know what I'm talking about. You can't pull up to the bridge in the van and be like, hey, you want a place? Come on. And maybe drop them off at the shelter for the night so that they'll be able to find them the next morning. And then after that, say, here you go. I'll give you an air mattress or some sheets or a blanket, and you can just sleep on the floor until we come along and possibly find you some furniture if that happens, or if they're around long enough for that to happen. So that is that definitely needs to change. That definitely needs to change. It can't stay like that. And I feel like that's setting you up for failure. And you're saying like they don't have furniture, they don't have dishes, they don't have toilet tissue, they don't have a toothbrush, they don't have anything.
So let me ask, on the policy level, what changes what you think should be made? Now, I will say this, and I think I shared with
It's
you
not
this
the right
before.
one.
When Trump started
Not the
talking
right one.
about when
I'm
Trump
sorry.
started, no, you good. When Trump started talking about cutting Section 8 and everything, everybody was panicking and everything. But what people don't know, the reality was he was talking about the people that shouldn't be on Section 8 that was keeping the people that need to be on Section 8. Like you were saying, you got people from coming from an outside state into your state, into your city, getting housed when they really technically wasn't homeless in your state. Then they talked about people that could be on a 6 month voucher. The Section 8 will be changed to 6 months. Well, we already had that at rapid rehousing at 6 months. They might could
Right.
do another six. So
So
when you look at it like that, jump in and tell me what you would do on the policy level. What type of changes would you make with dealing with that old guard that think they know everything?
so so first of all, let me say I didn't necessarily vote Republican, but
Yeah, neither did I.
even but even back in the Clinton administration, which I liked, um, I I did not I always thought that if you have public housing, that you give someone 4 to 5 years in public housing, that means that um their utilities are being paid, their rent are being paid, everything's being paid for them. And then, thank you, everything is being paid for them. After 4 years, then you move over to Section 8. You get 2 to 3 years on Section 8. And after that, you termed out. That gives you enough time to do something, try something out. You could mess it up and try something else. But it gives you that time. I mean, that's a good amount of time someone's giving you. And also with that, with the living in a public housing or housing, everything will be paid for. When you switch over to Section 8, that would give you the opportunity to get acquainted with living in a neighborhood, with maybe living in a single family house, with having to cut your grass, having to change your smoke detector batteries, having to change your air filter, taking care of a central air and heat unit. So um that was something. I do get an income from Section 8. So having that be cut is kind of like, okay, but I am in agreement with, I mean, how long is this supposed to last? Is it supposed to be a forever thing? Or is it going to be time? Your rapid rehousing, and I do think that there should be a cutoff point. At some point, you need to take accountability for the family that you decided to create. Like, I gotta take care of mine. How long I have to take care of yours? But anyways, the I know it takes a village, but do we but still. Um with the rapid rehousing, my problem with rapid rehousing is the fact that you sign somebody up and it's the understanding that in 6 months that we're going to pay this rent for you for 6 months. After the 6 months, we're then going to, you may be switched over to a permanent supportive housing, right? PSH. In this time, they find out, oh, well, you've been getting an income all this time. So we've been paying your rent and your utilities, but now you're responsible for $735. Well, that landlord's like, well, they don't want to pay $50. So how am I supposed to go back and now get 700 something dollars and then maybe another $300 for the eviction when they decide not to move?
And that was getting ready to be my next question because some of the vouchers is 70/30, but on that rapid rehousing, but technically like rapid rehousing, after six, the real thing about rapid rehousing is supposed to give a working individual a cushion to save up some money and after 6 months to be self-sufficient to pay the rent on his own. That
Maybe they should collect the money.
that's how. So in that 6 month period, working with caseworkers, they're supposed to help them create budgets, savings, and all that stuff. Let me tell you about this one program that's sending me some people. This is and this program's in your city, right? The
Okay.
guys be there for 1 year. They save up $5,000 savings. They're working, and they have a $3,000 emergency fund, and then they move out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's happening in your city. Best kept secret out there.
And what's the name of this program?
I'll tell you offline.
Okay. Well, that's
And they
really
and here's the
important.
thing. Here's the thing. They were like, "Ray, we're looking for. We don't have no good places to place them." Well, they got one now, so you know how that go. But anyway, so the reality with the rapid rehousing, and this is what I'm saying on a policy level. See, you have to be. I don't have to be nice because I don't give a care. And I'm going to keep hearing me talking about the old guard. They're the problem. Around the state, around the country, most cities, most organizations are making sure that they have someone with lived experience, meaning someone like myself who been in drugs 20 years, came out of it 28 years clean, to actually, no matter how much a social worker or a caseworker, their perception of how homeless people think, they will never know how a homeless person think unless they were homeless. And I
I
think that's
agree.
another major issue because the people who have that experience that can tell you, like, can look at a person and seeing when they get ready to relapse, that makes them accountable. Like these are grown folk. So let me hit you with this
Okay.
from the client side. When somebody is experiencing homelessness comes to you with a voucher, what do you wish they were better prepared for in terms of responsibility, expectation, and working with landlords so that they can stay housed?
Okay. So this is so I've talked to a number of programs and suggested that they do a video, they have someone come in, and they just simply, even if it's 5 to 10 minutes, just talk to them about what they should expect. Some people have been on the street for years and they just don't know anymore. It's not that they or maybe they've never lived in their own apartment or house. So they may genuinely just not know. So I think that the best thing would be for them to have some type of quick class or orientation on being a tenant. And I'm also writing a book on that you can pick up and you can maybe. But since they don't want to teach them, I'm like, well, I might as well write something. So, but just and again, when your smoke detector chirps, even though that's not a problem anymore under the new HUD guidelines, because they have the 10-year battery,
Well,
but change
single
the
women,
battery.
single parents, single women, they don't change it anyway. That's how you can always tell they're single.
I
Yeah,
changed my battery when I was single. I'm
I'm
not
I'm
sure.
I'm just saying. Just anyway, keep going. You're
Okay, that's a
you're the,
slide
you
note.
you're the exception to the rule. But anyway, go ahead. We just
I took out my trash myself too. But anyways, uh, yes, take out your trash. Have a trash bag. Change the air filter. um if something is leaking, contact the landlord or maintenance or whatever number they provide. Let them know. If the light goes out in the kitchen, try the light bulb first. Maybe maybe the bulb is out. Things like that. So it's not like rocket science, but again, if you don't know, you just don't know. But that would be great. Accountability on the part as well as the caseworkers. A lot of times people move in, you have no clue other than the housing managers or whoever put them there. You don't know who the caseworker is. You never see them. And it's really not the property manager or the owner's responsibility to facilitate that relationship. Like I should not, as a owner or a property manager, I
I
should
felt
not.
something when you said that, boy. But go ahead. Let me. I didn't just go. Just my
I
bad. I just wanted
really
to let you know it came through the airway. We felt
I'm
that.
glad to see it.
Go ahead.
But I should not be the one making the phone call to find out, hey, who's the caseworker because there's a problem. So when they're placed, it should be, and I did have a form at one time. It should be, hey, this is the tenant's information, date of birth, if you give a social, maybe an ID, relative, because there are some people who you do a wellness check on and they're not there anymore. So caseworker and program. So when a caseworker leaves, you still know who the program is, the next one in line. So that's really important, and I think that that would be a big help in limiting some of the frustration. You spend a half a day trying to figure out who the caseworker is to simply say, "Hey, this person has a lease violation. They have a dog. They have three people living in a unit other than them." Well, if you were coming over there, like some people say, they come 8 times a week. You should know that. You should be telling me, hey, there's a problem, So
And I'm gonna say this, and we're going. And boy, I listen. You hit it on the nail because when I was out there for so long, when I went to this program, it actually took me 60 to 90 days to relearn how to brush my teeth every day, how to wash up every day, how to comb my hair, how to iron, all those things that is not quote unquote normal. I had to relearn those things because my lifestyle for all them years didn't allow me to do it. It didn't. And here's the thing with most homeless people like myself, we had a life before. So there has to be, like you said, there should be a transition period between them coming from off the streets to a shared living or independent living place to relearn how to do the normal day-to-day functions of an individual and of a, apartment owner or landowner, homeowner, however you want to look at it, and then transition in. But look, it's been great talking to you. You've been doing such a great time. Listen, tell the people how they can get in contact with you. Tell them what you do. If they need a house, if they need an apartment, if they want to come check out the front porch with Colleen. That, oh, by the way, y'all. I was her first guest. Well, it was
he
two
was.
of us, but I
You
was
were
the
the
first
first,
one to
though. You were
talk.
the
Thank you
first.
very much. I'm the trendsetter on the front porch with Colleen. You heard me? But
And
tell
had
me,
you gone to the Instagram page, you would have saw the thank you that I posted.
oh, I'm going to go
Uh,
there.
uh, okay, thank you. And you can go there on IG at Front Porch with Colleen. That's Colleen. And if you have any questions for me for the front porch, you can email me at Colleen, Colleen, at the front porch, THEFRONT porch.biz.
That's what I'm talking about. Listen, I am so happy that you came on board. I just feel so honored that you have. And you want to hear something? You're the first. I've
Oh,
never had a female on Ray's Corner Live ever.
oh, okay.
You broke
Thank
the
you.
mold.
Okay. I open the
So
door for
look,
all the rest.
so look, guys, we appreciate y'all coming. Listen, Listen, once again, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that notification button. If you want to know more about Ray's Corner Live, Exodus Life Change, Exodus Life Change, you know what that is, how you change your life, coming out of darkness to change your life. Listen, just hit me up. You know how to hit me. You know how to get with me. Like, share, tiki-taki, follow, Facebook. You know what time it is. Hey, like we always say here, Ray's Corner Live, God loves you and I love you. And guess what? Ain't nothing you can do about it. You heard me?
You're the best.